Good morning. Good morning. Y'all like? Got my nails done. Y'all come on. Good morning to everyone. I overslept this morning. Good morning, everybody. Y'all come on. Where all my good people at? Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? My forehead so oily. It's so oily. Good morning. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button when y'all come in. Good morning. We got some hot topics. Good conversations this morning. Let's get into it before I pull up. Hope everybody's having a terrific Thursday. I woke up crazy this morning, but my morning almost went crazy, but you know, you got to shake it and get back. I was up like, I don't know why I just be waking up I be waking up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, then I be up like 5, and then I have to wake up, and then I laid back down, and when I woke up it was like 7:22. I'm like, oh my God, I'm real late this morning. So I was rushing. But I hope everybody's having a terrific Monday. Praying all is well with you, your family. Hope you're in good spirits. And if you're not, shake yourself, brush yourself off, get up, whatever it is, and have a wonderful day today. Because there's so many things. I'm going to give myself a minute here. And I just want to uplift and encourage you this morning. Because like I said, we all know that there's so much going on in the world. So many things that we could talk about. But when you see things, what's going on, how things going, others people's situation, you have a lot to be grateful for. And I think a lot of times we forget how blessed we are when we look at other situation, no matter what it is. And sometimes we think what we're going through is something real bad and that we can't, overcome it. But your situation not as bad as you think it is. So I just hope that this message, uplifting, encourage message can help somebody this morning. You may be going through, dealing with something, and a lot of times, and one thing about it, when you're going through things, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I got 13 people in my chat and only one person hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all support the channel. If you don't mind, push that like button. Yeah, and a lot of times we go through things and we feel like we can't, we feel like we're in it alone. And a lot of times people go through things, and the reason why it feels like they can't get through it, and it be like the why me God, and why me Lord, and sometimes the Lord be saying, why not you? And a lot of times we think we want to blame the devil. Oh, it's the devil, it's the devil. Everything ain't always the devil. Everything ain't always the enemy. A lot of times some things can be God that's just trying to get your attention, because he's a jealous God. And one thing about God, when he's a jealous God, he's not going to, especially if you belong to him, he's not going to share you with anyone. He like he said, there shall not have no other God before me. That means it could be your kids, it could be your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your job, whatever you give him more time to. Whatever you give him more time to. And that's what God gonna take that focus off of that to get you to focus on him, because it's something that he need of you, and there's something that he want, and he just want that time. Like when he did Adam, when he went looking for Adam in the cool of the day, in the Garden of Eden, and it was like, Adam, where are you? And he was like, I hid. And a lot of times when we know we haven't done things right, or we know we haven't been in our word, or we know we haven't been prayed, so we tend to run from the very thing that's going to help us. We tend to run from God because we know we haven't did nothing right. When our kids get in trouble, it's the same thing. We're his kids. And what we do, we run from him. Instead of running to him, we run from him, because now we feel like we can figure it out. We'll get it done. We don't need his help. But, we always make a mess of things. Just like our kids. They make a mess of things. And we do the same thing too. And just because you feel like I'm an adult, you still make a mess of things. And that's why, he's there, to... And that's how God works. Y'all make sure y'all tap that screen. I got 5 people. Y'all make sure y'all hit that screen. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And that brings me to talk about, there are 2 things I want to... Thank you, Raul. Thank you. A few things that I want to talk about. I ran upon a video with Lil Woody on it. And we all know Lil Woody is a ex, whatever he is, his past. But he has, we know him for all his, things that he did in court and things like that, his life and the type of life that he lived it. And we all know Woody, in his younger days, he did a lot of crazy things, and he's out here like advocating to the young men. They call them YNs, but I'm gonna say the young men. And he's out here trying to let them know that, that lifestyle that you're trying to live, I lived all that. I didn't have the guidance, or the people in his life, the men in his life, as they call themselves, the OGs, to guide him down that path, or whatever the case may be. But from his words, from the video, he stated, I think he said that somebody hit him on the motorcycle. So he was on a motorcycle in an accident, or whatever the case may be. And he was just talking about he was unconscious. And he was just saying that he didn't realize how selfish he was. It made him think about, like, dang, I'm unconscious. And then he was just saying, like, when he came out of it, he seen his family, and his family was all around him. And he didn't realize, like, he didn't feel no pain. Even when he was unconscious, he didn't feel no pain. When he was just like, once you close your eyes, you don't feel pain. And he was just saying, in that moment, it was scary, because he could have been gone. Like, his life could have been over. But when he came out of his consciousness, he was just saying how his family was around him, and how, they were crying and hurt. He was like, in that moment, that's when he felt pain. That's when he felt hurt and things like that. And he was just talking about how God has a work. And I really do believe that God does have a work for Lil Woody. You get what I'm saying? That's why we have to forgive. We have to let go and let God. And we have to also let God be God in situations, even in God's life. That's why I try to keep my heart so pure. Even in my situation, with my son, I just always try to keep my heart pure, when it comes to the people that was involved with taking my son's life. And not just my son's life, they took my little cousin's life. You get what I'm saying? But I try in every moment to keep myself positive, and most definitely keep my heart pure. So because I know God know the motives and the intents of our hearts. He don't look at our works. They got a song that they sang in church, may the life I live, or may the works that I live, let it speak for me. We could do a whole lot of things because the word of God say, yeah, you did this in my name, you did that in my name, but your heart was so far from me. You get what I'm saying? So I want to always make sure that my heart pure. And like I said, I try not to even think about the people that, what they did to my son, because in every opportunity, if God give a person an opportunity and they really truthfully have a forgiving heart, God gonna forgive those people. And you can't just be walking around with hatred in your heart, because God has the last say. And yes, he said vengeance belongs to him. It don't belong to any of us. And even in that situation with Woody been faced with so many things. And even though in that moment God was just showing him, you did so many things, but you still can reap what you sow. But God still allowed him another chance. He could have had a brain injury, but God still allowing Lil Woody another chance to say, hey, just in that moment, you out here, you still doing, if you out here doing crazy things, you still have an opportunity to reach those, to reach people, whatever you need to do. So I can really sympathize with him. And I really do feel like he has a calling on his life. You could tell when someone have a calling. Hey Amber, you can really tell when someone have a calling on their life, And I really do believe that Woody does have a calling on his life, and he's seen what life really meant to him. And that once you trying to get your life on the right path, the devil not gonna let up, the enemy not gonna let up, because he feel like I'm gonna do everything I can to get you, but God got his hands on him, and God saying no. There were rumors going around that everybody thought he was unalive by someone because of the injury on his head. So there were so many, stories that was going out till he was able to come out to tell his own story. He lived to testify. He lived to give a testimony. And that's what God's saying to some of us, not just me, but you. You lived it. You survived it. You can testify. This is your testimony. You overcame this. Yes, you went through this. You went through that. But you're gonna survive it. You're gonna live it. You're gonna live to tell. You're gonna live to give your testimony. You're gonna live to testify the goodness of God and how good he was. That no matter what you was dealing with or what you was going through, you get what I'm saying? You survived it. And he gave you another chance and an opportunity to be able to testify to the glory of him, to give him all the glory. Because he's not going to share us with anyone. That's what he's not going to do. And, just seeing Woody, at his bedside or wherever he was sitting in front of his little table where he do his content, creator. And he's talking positive things, from his platform, and he's able to do it. He's able to tell his story and not nobody else. So I think that's a blessing within itself. So God does have a great calling on Lil Woody's life. I really believe he has a calling on his life. I think he knows that he has a calling on his life, and whatever God wants him to do while he's here, he's anointed, he's covered. And I really do believe whatever God kept him here, he kept him here from prison, kept him here. So it had to be some promises that he kept. So he got to follow through. And that's another thing. When we making these promises to God, you can't make promises that you can't keep. He's going to hold you to your promise. He's going to hold you to it. But I'm really happy that, I don't know the whole story of Woody. You get what I'm saying? But when I see Woody life, it makes me think of, in my heart, I know I have to forgive people. And like I said, I do want justice. And I do, like I said, I want my heart to stay pure towards the people that did what they did to my kid. I'm not saying I'm trying to be team them or friendly them. But at the end of the day, God has the last say so. And they have an opportunity to make a change or be the change when they know what they have done. Because at the end of the day, they're going to reap what they sow. I'm not God. I don't have the final say. And like I said, God will deal with those people. When people do wrong, just like Woody, he don't do a lot of wrong things. And like him getting in that freak accident on that motorcycle, guess what? He was reaping something that he sowed. He went unconscious. He didn't even realize that he wasn't even here. Like just that quick in a blinking of an eye, he was gone. And he didn't even realize that. He didn't realize that in that moment, even if he haven't got things right, in that moment, he didn't even have a chance to even go get things right or make it right or, pray about some things to get it right in his heart. So that's what I viewed that from with Lil Woody. When I'm just watching his story and just following him, I'm like, wow, you got to always keep a pure heart. You just cannot, no matter what you're going through, who hurt you, who did things to you, you got to always be in a place of forgiveness and making sure that your heart is pure. Because you don't know, anything can happen in a given moment. Anything can happen. And you may not have that opportunity to get it right or, confess with your mouth and say, Lord, I'm feeling this type of way. This person or that person or these people, they did this to me, they did that to me. And Lord, forgive them because they know not what they do. And God also give me a forgiving heart so I don't have these things in my heart. And I think that when Lil Woody came up out of that situation, he realized that, dang, I was really gone. I was really gone. And I didn't realize the people that I was hurting. And he was just saying it hurting him that when he came out, he just visualized himself just not being here. And that knowing that he didn't feel no pain. He didn't feel no pain, but he knew that his family, and that's how it is. When our loved ones and people that we love, when they go on to be with the Lord or wherever they resting place is, they don't feel pain. We're here to feel the pain. We're here to deal with the hurt. They don't feel it anymore. The people that did you wrong, the people that did mean things to you, when they go on and their eyes closed and they take their last breath, they don't feel pain anymore. They don't think about what they did in that moment. You get what I'm saying? He was just saying how it was scary in that moment. It was scary because he basically seen his life flash before him, and in that moment ain't nothing that he could have done. And I'm just saying this, and I'm just using Woody's story to tell somebody, like, I don't know who could have hurt you or whatever. And even in that moment, he said he didn't feel that pain, the unconsciousness. It made me think about my daughter when she was on life support, how her lifeless body just laid there on life support. Like, her body, physically, she was there, but she wasn't, she wasn't here. And she didn't even realize that she was not with us anymore. Just laying up there on that bed, having a machine breathing for her, and knowing that you're physically here, but you're really not here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Cara. Good morning, Davina. Y'all make sure y'all tap that screen. How come God didn't put no? First of all, don't even block this person right here. Don't block this person right here. First of all, you sound stupid. God don't put rings on fingers. Okay? And second of all, don't worry about a ring on my finger. Just because you assume or you don't see a ring don't mean that I don't have one. How you can analyze my life based on because you don't see a ring to know what I have and what I don't have. See, you using your energy, you're wasting energy. I want that person to stay right here. Do not block this person. Let them stay right there. Some of the trolls need to stay in here because they help you in the algorithm. Don't even block them. Don't even block them. Let me see. Good morning, California. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you for passing through. Thank you for your support. Y'all make sure y'all tap that screen. But like I say, it's 10. We got 10 in the chat. Make sure y'all support. Tap that screen if you would like to support me with super stickers, super chat. You can do that also to support the channel. I thank you all so much. For those of you who's able to support me, even tap the screen. If you're not able monetarily, make sure you just hit the like button. If you can, hit that like button to keep me in that algorithm. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just want to take Woody's story, and just use that to testify today of, even with my age and my life and things, with losing a child, seeing a child on life support. But that really I'm going. That really sent a message through my heart when I heard Woody said he didn't feel nothing. He was like, when my eyes closed, he said, I didn't feel nothing. He was like, I didn't feel no pain. And I'm like, wow. He was like, in that moment, you don't feel nothing. He said, but dying was scary to him. He said he felt like it. I guess him seeing that, he said it was scary, dying, but he didn't feel no pain. So whatever he was dealing with in that moment and whatever he seen in that moment, he said he didn't feel. He was like, all the pain, because it do say you don't feel no pain, you don't feel nothing, but he was like everything, like all that left, like pain and all that. He said he didn't feel any of that, but he said, but the fear of knowing that he was dying, that's what he was experiencing. That was scary to him. And I was like, wow, to be able to hear him be able to come back to, from being unconscious in a bad accident where his family could have been having his, we could have been saying, dang, Woody having a funeral, Woody passed away. And we all know so many people got their mouth on him, like want to see things. And like I said, I ain't gonna hold him to it, because at the end of the day, God is the judge and the jury, and God has the final say in it all when it comes to Woody life. But like I said, I really do believe that he's anointed, and I really do believe that he does have a voice for this time. Like God say, the harvest is full, but the laborers. And I really do believe in this age and this time that Woody gonna have a voice. He does have a voice, and that there are young men out there, that really crying out, and he would be the one that when he gets on his platform, and he gonna reach so many people. Even with myself, you get what I'm saying? Even with myself, just his message alone, it touched me. And I was up 3 o'clock in the morning, because I know I like I say all the time, we ain't no perfect people, and none of us are perfect, because in a given time we could drop the ball. Dropping the ball don't just be XYZ, just not even fellowshipping with God, just having that personal relationship with him, just that prayer time. You could drop the ball in that, and we could do that all the time. In your word, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. You get what I'm saying? But just his message alone, when I heard him say that did something to me. That touched my heart. That touched me. Cause like, dang, you don't feel it, and you know that your family, that loved one that you lost in that moment, they didn't feel no pain. They didn't feel it anymore. But he was allowed to see that the pain, that if he would have left the world, God allowed him and gave him grace in that moment and mercy in that moment to let him know, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. I could take you out, but I'm not. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to let you see the effect that you have on the people that really loved you, that really love, that love you. So, And I just want to, bring that, even if some people come back and hit the replay button on this and just, reevaluate your life and your walk with God, your relationship, even myself, because I'm talking to myself. I'm not just talking to y'all. I'm definitely talking to myself, because you know what? I know better. I know better. I know about, in my word and praying and fasting, those things, those things that, my spiritual foundation was built on. It's like I strayed away from those things. You get what I'm saying? He said you train a child up in the way that they should go. And if they stray away, they won't depart from that. So things that was and put inside of you that that you should be doing, and you come of age, because sometimes life can life with us. It takes a lot out of us that you feel like, you know what, I don't want to pray. I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like reading my Bible. You feel like growing up, I was forced to do this. It wasn't that you was forced. That's just what the biblical principles was to, raise your kids. Like, I haven't been like in nobody church, but I know I raised my own children in the church, and I know I have my grandkids, and I don't want to cheat them from that. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to make excuses from that. Like, I don't even get up and get them dressed to take them to church, because it's like so many things that I deal with, but that's not fair to them. You get what I'm saying? So it was a eye opener for me, just hearing Woody's story and what he was saying, from his platform. Hey, Mr. Harold, good morning. Hey, fear of whatever, yeah, Wakanda, whatever you want to call it. Good morning to you. Hello, Tina. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Wright. What I'm talking about Lil Woody. I was talking about Lil Woody. And another topic I want to bring up, and I'll probably get more into that, but I just want to throw this out here. Did y'all hear what Ray J did to what his name, Sinet, the young man? He has a big platform. Hey, Xavier Kizian, good morning. Ray J allegedly, apparently, the young man that he does a lot of things in these houses and stuff, and a lot of different stars and different people come there. So apparently, it was a scene. I don't know what he was doing. They say that Ray J, not AJ, Ray J broke into his home, broke into his house, and I guess he was showering. The young man was taking a shower. Seeing that he has a girlfriend named Gigi. I thought that was so cute. But the boy was in the shower, and Ray J got into this boy's house. They were blowing bubbles and all this. I don't know what was going on. I didn't watch. I just caught that part of it. And Ray J tried to get in the shower with the young man. I don't know what time Ray J be on, but I really feel like that's very inappropriate. And then for you to break in this young man's house, he said that he broke into his house. So I feel like Ray J need to pipe down before. Hello there, ma'am. Hey, Kareem. I feel like Ray J gonna land himself in a world of trouble. Ray J gonna end up getting himself in a lot of trouble for some of this idiotic things that he's doing. And like we talked about, a lot of things that we think is playful and we think is funny, but what we may think funny, somebody else may not think is funny. And Ray J definitely gonna land himself and get himself in a world of trouble with all this crazy stuff that he got going on and the crazy things that he's doing, because some of the stuff that he's doing is giving like weird. Like, he's doing some weird stuff. So what do y'all think about that with Ray J? I'm not sure if y'all seen it or not, but he's definitely doing some crazy stuff. I like to smell good. Yes, I am. Yep, I am. I've been married to 14 years, almost 15. October, matter of fact, next month is my 15th anniversary. October the 2nd. Yep, October the 2nd is my anniversary. What I Hey Sabrina, what's up, chick? How you been doing, love? Thank you all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. But yeah, Ray J gonna land himself in a world of trouble. I just burnt my tip of my slow down, Tito. What you drinking? Coffee? Um, Ray J gonna end up landing himself in a lot of trouble. Yeah, you got to be careful with that coffee. Yeah, him going in and then the thing about it, that young man, Sinet, is it Sinet? I don't know if I'm Kai. Is it Kai? What his name? Kai Sinet? Might be saying his name wrong, but yeah, Ray J definitely gonna Thank you. Oh yeah, this mint green. I went and got them done yesterday, girl. They was way overdue. And I was trying to find a color that I haven't had. And I kept looking. I'm like, okay, this is kind of like a pretty color right here. My name Gigi. Mar- Mari, my name is Gigi. But yeah, um, they, they look like they go. Yeah, it look like it's like a greenish color or something in it. I find out tonight if they glow when it get dark when I go to sleep. But yeah, Ray J gonna land himself in a world of trouble. So based on what the young man stated, that Ray J, he was like, "How did you get in here? How did you get in here?" So, from based off what he said, Ray J broke into his home allegedly. Sabrina, can you drop the disclaimer in here for me? He's a handler. Ray J is a handler. Ray J be giving weird. Ray J is off the chain. I don't know if it got a lot to do with his childhood or he just wow. He is off the chain. But Ray J gonna end up in a world of mess. He gonna end up in some, cause everybody not gonna go for that. And I think that young man felt some type of way. You like trying to get in the shower with this man. It's like everybody like it's like people's sexuality. It's like they trying to this boy. I don't know if they're trying to make him be something he's not, or they trying to force him to do things or whatever things in the industry. I feel like a lot of things that was forced on Ray J them during the industry. But this young man, Kai, whatever, I can't think. I think I'm saying his name wrong. He built his own, just sitting at his little thing, doing his little thing. Thank you. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like in that industry, but that young man built his own platform. Nobody built that. He didn't have to go through loopholes and, you know, do 10 jumping jacks and 5 backflips, or he didn't have to do certain challenges to build his platform. And so many people that now that he's opened his platform to allow other people to be a part of his platform, it's like they bringing negativity to his platform. But he never built his platform on that. And a lot of times it can be like that. How you could be building something positive, but others people can just come and bring some negativity to your life. You get what I'm saying? So you definitely have to be careful of who you allow in your life. They send Ray J to keep you in a check because he goes most unnoticed with his shenanigans. He was with the Houston Handler too. When you say Handler, I'm lost on that. I be kind of green behind the neck. So when you say Handler, what do you mean about that? Like, to keep them in check? Like, I don't get it. Cause I thought he dated her, Whitney. I don't get that. Like, what? Oh, that young. They do that on that young man's show. He say, yeah, he is a celebrity mule. But I'm just saying, like, but for the young, you know who I'm talking about, the young boy that has that big platform. Ray is wicked, more wicked than you think. Yeah, he's wicked. I can most tell he looks like a villain. Like, he broke into the boy house and then he tried to get in the shower with him. But no, but Ray J is to get you. Oh, gotcha. That's what I was saying. Gotcha. Okay. I think I'm beginning to like a little content when I be doing this right here. Y'all be teaching me some stuff. Kai know who Ray is. That's why he was looking crazy like, hey, hey. he was like, how he get in here? He looked like he was scared of him too. Oh wow. I would have called a popo on him. When you see Ray as a new celebrity, run. He was trying to get in the girl, and then he got in the bubbles and went to dancing. You know who got that spirit on, that spirit that Ray J got on him. Know who else got that spirit, and you could see that on them. Booger Boy. You could see that Handler. You could the same spirit that's on Ray J, that same spirit on Booger Boy. You can see it. You can see that on both of them, like they twin. Where have you been? You definitely can see that. Now that you can put a, you know how you gotta put a name to something, and you be something about something, but you just really don't know. Now that y'all telling me what it is, when you see that, you can see that in Booger Boy too. He's a Handler too. Oh wow. That's why his sister mad at him? Was she able to remove it? Oh my goodness. You see. Wow, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we need to keep these young celebrities. You know, sometimes, like God say, what profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? The Bible always say be content. You know, a lot of times, you know, people want the fame, they want the this, they want the that. But when you see that type of stuff, your life can change like with the blinking of an eye. You know, you can just get caught up in so many things. Like, you go to, like, you know, people like, oh, I'm chasing the bag and I'm chasing this. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to be content and comfortable, but I don't want it to be where something take over my life. You know what I'm saying? That it overtakes me. I got all my snacks and stuff in my bag. Oh, all right, y'all. I got to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all support. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all. We gonna run this back, and I still wanna talk about the little boy, the story we was talking about, the little 11-year-old with the ding dong, the bell ringer, the little boy that they thinking that man premeditated that with that child. So everything I said yesterday, that's basically what they're saying. He unalived that child and he premeditated that. That was a grown man. But and that's what it was. Him and his enjoy your day too. Yeah, so we got to keep that family in prayer too with that young little boy that did the doorbell ring thing. So keep him uplifted as well. So we'll keep an eye on that story. But I want to come back and talk about that Kai and that Ray J. Ray J is something else. All right, y'all. I got to get up off of here. I enjoy everyone. You all have a terrific day. Um, keep smiling, keep pushing, keep going. Don't let nothing stop you, okay? Don't let nothing stop you. It ain't over till the fat lady sing, all right? So y'all be encouraged and stay lifted up and keep smiling. All right. Have a good one.